like crap, so then my workout isn't that good. Or I don't feel like working out anymore because I feel like crap. I'm running and I feel like I'm gonna throw up because I have all this crap in my system. Yeah. It's like, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
There's no way.
You're not giving your body the fuel that it needs.
Exactly. Like you are literally defueling your body to try and like, I don't even know, to try and refuel it like with working out. But like you're dead. Like,
But I think that definitely goes deeper, you know, in terms of like systemic issues, because it is easier for people to eat dirty than it is for people to eat clean. Like when you talk about, you know, finances and access and resources, I think that's why because I'm wondering, like, why do most people
section of my nutrition class I just finished.
Yeah, because I'm thinking as we're talking, I'm like, why do people eat dirty? But I'm like, it's just easier to eat dirty in society.
Way easier.
It's your community, who you're around, culture. You know, where you are in the social, you know, social ladder. If you're poor, it's harder to get to. They don't have grocery stores like that. They got corner store and things like that. So it's just
that's true.
And I even think back to high school. I used to get $10 a day for lunch. Right. So I'm thinking, why go here and spend $10 when I can go to McDonald's?
Right.
And get a whole meal for $5, and I got $5 left. Yeah. I can do something with that $5. So
when I really think about it, them things had no veggies on them.
Nothing.
None.
Like when I really look at the
like the grilled cheddar onion burgers,
there is no veggies on there.
Give me the high C.
There's not even lettuce on the double quarter pounder.
No tomato.
There's no.
I think there's pickles.
Vegetables.
There's pickles, but trash.
And onions.
I always take the pickles.
I always
You like to do from SpongeBob. I did that.
Yo, I'm dead, bro. I want to take them pictures on, boy. Like, get out of here. I used to get time when I'm like, no pickles, and I still get the pickles. I'm like, come on, my man. Like, you can still taste it there. Like,
the pickle juice was still there. I know you put it on and then took it off.
Pickle juice.
Why don't you just not put it on?
Nah, bro. That is true. No veggies.
There's no veggies on the menu.
This is the stuff we're consuming on the daily,
Bro,
man.
Because you can have McDonald's multiple times a day.
That's facts.
Different how you go there for breakfast, lunch,
bro,
dinner. Bro, I seen a family one time, I'll never forget. Hispanic family. They had their birthday party, children's birthday party in McDonald's.
I'm not gonna wait. Hold on.
And I was
like, I think my 7th birthday. When I was like 7, I know it wasn't elementary school. I don't know.
Was it for the playground?
Is this on?
Yeah.
The playground's a different story.
Wait, whoever went to Nelly K. Parker? Was ever Remember Miss Ellerby?
I love Miss Ellerby,
in kindergarten. I know. Because all my friends from that class was there. Bro, it was at the McDonald's on 17. On 17, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Back then, you used to have the Playland. Yeah, you used to have the Playland.
See, the Playland is different. But this was no Playland. This was the one on Essex.
On Essex?
No Playland, bro, for the eats. No judgment, but I'm like, damn, like, this is what we're subjected to.
At least for the Playland, you know what I'm saying? At least for
That's what I said, bro. Wait, if you had the Playland, that's a different story.
Playland was at least the Playland, bro.
Damn, nah, just for the eats though.
Bro, that's crazy. That's bad.
Yeah.
It is bad,
That's
bro.
bad.
No, it's bad. Our health is, even when I learned even more of the statistics from nutrition class, like 80% of adults don't meet the weekly guideline of physical activity.
No, nobody likes working out, bro.
80%. I'm like this.
80? Wait. 80% of us don't match the required physical activity?
No.
Wow.
At least the guidelines for getting
What is
80%.
Like, what
80% of adults.
No, what I'm saying, like, what's the technical guideline? Like, what should you work out? Like,
I forgot how many exactly though. But it was like even it was a low amount, even do 30 minutes of daily activity a day.
Mm-hmm.
It was like only 30% or 20% of Americans.
I feel like, I remember we were talking about, I was telling you about the Zac Efron joint, Down to Earth.
Yes.
And like, it's all about him going.
That's where he goes
going to different
communities.
And he found, like, we were talking about like centenarians, like those people who live to 100. And they were in Italy, and it was like, he was like, yo, like, how, like, what, why, like, how? And their diet is so different than ours, and they're mostly carbs, which is looked down upon in America. You know what I mean? Like protein it's high protein, high protein, which does help build muscle, but like to sustain life, like they live and they're all in one area. How do you have a multiple 100-year-old people in the same area? I mean, so they're doing something.
They have the formula.
Yeah. Exactly.
But carbs.
That's how Okinawa was. Like all of like B was saying, all the centenarians, their diets are most of them are like 80% carbs.
It's the body's main energy source.
Right.
It's just
it is.
We have a bad representation of carbs in America because look at the carbs we eat.
Right.
Empty carbs and we overload on carbs. Carbs are great. I love carbs.
Same.
Bro, my whole diet is carbs.
Right.
And we overemphasize.
I eat straight veggies right now, bro.
This is
It's
the
all
healthiest man on the
carbs.
planet. like, come on.
I only eat carbs, bro. That's
Bro,
it.
it's straight carbs. It's literally
My
what
diet's
the
about
body.
80% carbs.
Bro, it's what the body breaks down into energy. The body wants and craves carbs.
Right.
So when people go, "Oh, carbs are terrible for you," I'm like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
I work at the gym and I hear people and they're like, oh, they legit, like, I'm like, dang, they don't even, I legit wish I could just tell people, like, and I don't even know a lot, but I know something, and like, they're literally like blindly eating or drinking these protein shakes that they think are like.
So I have a question for you.
I'm like, yeah.
What's the first things that come to your mind when you hear carbs? Because I think in society, like when I first started, following his guidance with health, if you told me carbs, I'm thinking two things: pasta and bread.
Oh, facts. Me too. Same. Pasta,
Off
bread.
the rip.
Off
But I think that's what the majority of society thinks when they hear carbs is pasta and bread.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you overload on pasta, that's not good.
Right.
Obviously, if you overload on bread, that's not good. But there's so many other forms of carbs
They're
that
not
I
really
learned.
that bad, though.
They're not that bad.
Right.
We overload
Like,
on it.
Like it's the fact that we do white bread and now like we just strip like you were saying we just strip the carbs of its nutrients, but pasta is not bad at all.
No, not at all.
Like it's noodles.
Yeah.
I eat rice noodles almost every day.
Like legit.
There's nothing wrong with carbs.
And
Like
then,
you were saying.
They're like, oh, I'm not gonna eat any
I'm not eating no carbs.
And I'm like, dude, I couldn't do. I'm like, you're gonna work out every day?
Yeah.
I'm like, how you have no energy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you're in the gym working hard, I'm like, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people don't know protein doesn't get used for energy. It's like the last. If your body has no fat or no carbs in it, it'll resort to using protein. But it needs protein for muscle cells. Like it's a building block of a lot of cells, communications between yourself. But people don't realize like protein is not like the energy source. It's always fat and carbs.
Right.
Bro.
And it's just harder for your body to break down fat the way it can carbs. Carbs are just so easy for the body to break down for energy. So people doing like when we was doing all these high protein diets, it's not really doing much.
Right.
But it's
That goes in my last
too.
video, but like in America we just think it's just protein, bro. Like you go to any centenarians, 80% of their diet will be carbs.
Yeah.
You need protein, but
I think carbs is what makes us the happiest too when you really think about it.
Definitely. That's so
Like, everybody
it's
loves
energy
carbs.
source.
And that's what I'm saying. Like everybody loves carbs. Like, when you think about the stuff that really like when you're eating it, it's carbs.
Yeah,
bro.
it's so much fat.
Yeah.
Protein is good, but we don't get that.
Oh yeah,
when
like
we eat
I
protein,
can eat a whole thing of just rice. I love rice.
I love rice
I
too, bro.
freaking love rice.
Bro, I eat rice all day.
Plantains, potatoes,
Yes.
beans,
Yeah,
I'm like,
bro.
All that just hits.
pasta.
I
It's always
think back to like my ZD days. Like,
it's always carbs, bro.
that's the stuff you just smile when you eat it. Like,
It's always
happy.
carbs.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really marketing when you think
Yeah.
about it. Like protein is all that's marketed. Like
Yeah.
when he was bodybuilding, especially when you're bodybuilding, you're just trying to get gains in
Right.
protein.
It works.
You need protein.
Yeah.
You need protein. And we're not saying protein doesn't work.
Right.
We just overload on protein.
But we never used to eat like that.
What do you mean?
If you look at the American diet earlier, it became like that when they started what's it called, industrializing beef.
Yeah.
Like when it got to that point,
Yeah.
that's when you'll see like we just started eating tons of protein, and we marketed it because they needed to get more people to buy into eating the cows.
Same
and
thing
more
with
chicken.
milk.
You need your protein.
Uh-huh.
No,
Yeah.
milk wasn't really really did milk, but it became a business. Like people started marketing it, like yo, get your protein.
Remember got
calcium?
Got
calcium
with the milk, right?
Calcium,
milkman,
Yeah.
Really started
So
marketing.
it's really marketing, bro.
They really had a milkman.
Really had a milkman.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the ice cream truck.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Yeah.
So it's all marketing, but
Yeah.
in terms from a health standpoint, it's terrible. And like you said, it's not sustainable.
Right. Bro. I don't know, that crap was crazy.
Like even when Dee was just showing us the steak pictures.
Oh, yeah,
Eating
yeah.
raw, like we've just been marketed. Number one, we've been marketed to believe that we're carnivores.
Right.
The dumbest thing ever.
Right.
But the fact that we believe that we're carnivores is what throws us even more towards high protein diets because we've been programmed to believe that that's the natural way that we should.
Yeah, in America.
Eating.
Like
America,
lions literally eat that. Like raw steak.
Yeah.
Like
Because they're designed for that. Their body can break
I'm
that
like,
down.
Why? If you put that on a plate in front of me, I'd be like, what?
I'd
Yeah.
be sick.
No way.
It's not even appealing. If you
Yeah.
put a bloody thing on, I'm like,
Yeah,
what? I'm like, bro, bro, what?
But that's how they
is
were
this?
saying. Like that's how you know, like we're not carnivores. Like if you put that in the regular person's face, they're like,
Yeah. You know what they
you
say?
can't eat things raw. Like,
I don't know.
Your body can't even handle it, bro. You can sit there, sick to your stomach. Like,
Yeah, and that's how you get like you did chicken or you get like salmonella.
Yeah,
salmonella. You're
like-
not supposed to. But I think it was, I don't know if it was a video I sent you or you sent me, but they were like, look at a picture of a dog, right? None of us think about eating a dog, but if a carnivore saw a dog, they'd be like, I'm gonna rip that, I'm gonna rip that thing to shreds. We'll look if you went around eating dogs. If you went around biting dogs, we'd look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah,
It's like, this dude is nuts.
you're biting. You'd be looking at her
He's like, yo, this dude is crazy. Like, what's wrong with this
my
guy?
man need to get locked up.
But carnivores,
Menace
they
to society.
Yeah, they look at any animal that has meat. They're like,
That's
gonna
facts.
rip you to pieces.
I was
bro.
grabbing the chicken.
Yeah. You can't tell me you look at the chicken and be like, I want to devour this thing, bro.
I've
Like,
never looked at any of them animals and like,
Never.
I want to eat you. I'm like, I swear to you, like, I've never looked at them like,
Never.
bro, never.
Bro.
salivating like,
Dog. And man, like I feel like, bro, y'all ever heard of the Grizzly Man? Y'all ever heard of him? This dude, it's like a documentary. It's a little creepy, but the dude, I mean, he was a little crazy. he was befriending these bears, like in the wild. Like, and he was recording it, and he was good. Like, for years he would do it.
Yeah.
Until one summer, he went there, recording it. It's like a documentary, boom. And he's thinking that they're his friends, and they're the whole time. He's thinking, oh, like the huge bears. He's just thinking, oh, like I'm your friend. You know, they see me as whatever, one of them. Bro, they killed him and his girlfriend. God rest their soul. But they're not looking at you like, oh, like are we friends? They don't care. If anything, they could just spur of a moment, like, oh, you look appetizing now.
yeah,
They looking at you like
I'm in
fresh
there.
fish.
Yeah,
I'm hungry.
When he's gonna wake up, I like my fish wet.
bro.
That's what they looking at you
Like,
like,
they
bro.
don't care.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They're not seeing you like that. It's like, bro,
Like my fish.
different, bro, and go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat them up.
It's
Like,
sad, but like, yeah.
yeah, it's like Sabbath. It's like
Yeah.
people gotta
This
wake
is-
up. Like,
and even when we look at just society in general,
Yeah.
how we're working nonstop, like we're one of the only countries that works at this rate. So it's
Everybody's
easier.
catching up, though.
Yeah, that is true. But it's easier to fall into the patterns and the cycles of bad eating because you don't really have time to.
that is so true, bro.
Prepare your meals and things like that. Like you're always on the go looking for something quick.
But that's
fast.
that
That's
is
literally
so
fast
fast.
food, bro. Like
That's
we're so
happening
on the
into,
go.
Sorry to cut you off. That's
No, you're
happening in even countries that are healthier. Like you'll see, even because all the different countries in Asia, whether it's Japanese, Chinese, like all their diets were high up, but now they're starting to drop off as well too. Their life expectancy rate is dropping because now they're starting to adapt to Western culture and getting into that fast pace. So they're bringing in more
Capitalism,
fast food.
man.
So they're even losing out on their healthy diet, their native diet, because everybody's now adopting to the
That's
Western.
crazy. Yeah, because I mean,
he said even in India it's happening. There's Domino's and stuff, and India is usually one of the healthiest countries.
Wow.
Like you starting to see that all this fast food restaurants are coming.
It's also convenience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Convenience sells.
And it's addictive.
It is
the ingredients that they put into the food is addictive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You can get addicted to McDonald's.
Absolutely.
I believe it.
Absolutely.
I believe it.
Yeah, I've definitely been.
Bro, we were hooked on it.
Bro, there's
I wanted
additives in
McDonald's every day when I was younger.
Too.
Mom used to be like, yo, what you want to eat? McDonald's?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, can we get McDonald's?
Right.
Yeah.
They bought them fries, cookies, like, bro, all of that.
Bro.
Filet-O-fish was my thing.
And then it's quick to take 5 minutes to get the meal. Like,
it's vaguely, it's kind of cheap.
It's
quick.
quick.
Yeah, it's
Not
cheap
really
too.
cheap, so it's like easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I know during COVID, like for me, I got in the best shape of my life ever. I've been ever in the best shape of my life ever.
Yeah.
And it was like,
It was
going down clothes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and then when things opened back up, when I got my job back, dog. When I got my job back,
getting out of work
fell
late.
off.
Yeah.
Fell off. Like I still maintained a little bit, but I was in way better shape.
Yeah.
It was like I was able to really focus on my body, and then like now, oh my gosh,
other things start taking priority.
and then you're more inclined to be like, and then like you're working a 9-hour day, and then it's like
you're drained
more
after.
inclined,
You get out. You don't want to cook.
Yeah, I'm just
you don't
gonna
want
be
to
out.
wait for any groceries, none of that stuff. You're like, all right, let me just go pick this up.
Yeah, I'm just pick this up real quick. You know, so
Let me get that.
I ain't eating anything all day.
Exactly.
So
I'm in a caloric deficit.
Yeah, I'm still in a caloric deficit.
Let me get this quarter pounder and these large fries real quick. I'll be good.
It's such a lie, bro.
And that's how we get in the cycle. Like, and I was telling him, it's crazy how much things are marketed. Like sometimes I like to go on walks. I remember late night, I'm just going on a walk and I just see everything, big billboards of pizza and burgers, and I'm just like, yo, this is really how they get you.
Yeah.
Like you sit on TV, you see the commercial, you go,
What kind of walk
that new Angus burger looks what kind of fire.
Yeah.
We'll go try that out.
Bro, I got a coffee the other day from Starbucks on the app.
Yeah.
I ordered the coffee.
Nutrition.
Bro, I ordered the coffee. No. The coffee was good. Like I know to order like a good 5-calorie coffee. I like all the
Got it.
Yeah.
But the thing was like, would you also like to add, bro, it's a cake pop, like all that stuff. I'm like, and I almost bought one. I almost bought a cake pop.
Just because it's there.
Yeah, I'm like, that was good.
Yeah.
But it was in my face.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Because it pops
I
out.
don't want that. You know what I'm saying? But low-key, I did.
Add-ons are becoming big too. Yeah.
Yeah. Even at Starbucks, you can turn your drink to a quick 100
1,000
calorie drink. People don't even know what they be doing. They be adding a whole bunch of.
Let me get milk. Let me get this. Let me get this.
Yeah.
Oh, you got this too,
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Throwing everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy
Crazy.
how much. So.
I don't know, bro.
It is wild.
But you'll never see fruits and vegetables marketed. I've always wanted to be the guy that's on a billboard holding like mangoes and stuff like that. Like, that was always my dream.
Coconut.
Bro, everybody's getting these Coke and Pepsi deals. I was like, back then in college, I was like, yo, I want the Poland Spring deal. Like, I'm the only dude sitting here, like, with the water bottles, just, like, make it help cool.
That's
That was
fire.
always my dream in college, bro. I'm like, I want to be able to be the first person sitting there, like, marketing water.
Yeah, that's fire.
Marketing fruits, bro. Like, get your mangoes today.
Look at us.
Like,
got mangoes.
got mangoes.
Yeah.
Bro, enjoying it, bro.
You know
That's
what
how it
I'm
should be.
Me, that's what's my joy, bro.
But that's why your
That's my
re-up
goal,
bar
boy.
is incredible.
Yeah,
if you haven't been
me
this
too.
re-up bar, I know I don't
Pop
know.
up.
Well, I was just saying, plug that in real quick.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
bro.
definitely
Plug
go
that
open
in.
that back up probably at the end of this month. Get back to the juices and smoothies. So especially if you in the Hackensack, Jersey, North Jersey area, pop up. Rhea Bar, 343B Main Street.
Be there.
Yes, sir.
Be there.
Definitely the best smoothies for sure. 'Cause they're
Yeah.
fresh.
Yes.
They're fresh.
Fresh juices,
frozen
smoothies,
fruit.
all of that.
Bro, like even a retro, like I mean the protein shakes are good, but like it needs to like they're like the syrup and the stuff added. You know, it's not pure. It's not in its pure state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I can taste the clear difference between yours and theirs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, like
Now, I used to be
That's what
loving
it
when
is.
people popped up. They're like,
yeah.
taste the freshness because you know, and then even with the juices, be cutting it up right in front of your face, juicing it, so people already know, bro.
Yeah, it's not the same. Like I remember when I was in Albany, there was this spot, and everybody's like, "Yo, their smoothies are fire." But you know, we're used to making our own smoothies. So I'm like, let me try it out. I go there, kid you not, cup, throws ice in there, and just pours smoothie like mix.
Right.
And I'm like, this is trash. Like, no fresh fruit.
Okay,
this is even healthy. Like, what do you? And everybody's like, yo. And the worst part was people were really advocating for it. Like, yo, the smoothies are fire. I'm like, bro, I wouldn't even say this is a smoothie.
Right.
Like
syrup.
This is just
I was so
with ice.
I was so confused with the juice bar. Somebody asked me, "Do you use fruits and vegetables?" And I'm like, I answered. It came out sarcastic, but I was like, "What else would I be using?" Like, I was so confused at the question. Like, what else would I be using? He's like, people use like syrups and stuff.
But they
I was
just
like,
a little machine.
bro, I was so lost. I was like, people use syrups? I was so because I was like, syrups? Like they're like, like fruit syrups, like strawberry syrup, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no, like I go in the fridge and start pulling out like oranges and I'm like
beets, fresh ginger.
But I never thought about it that people really don't use fruits and vegetables in smoothies. I was so lost by that.
Yeah.
So you saying it and seeing that, I've never seen that. So I was just so lost when he asked me. I'm like,
that's crazy,
yeah, I use fruits and vegetables.
Well, that's the norm. People aren't using juicers. People not even using blenders and blending up fruits, bro. They literally just got the syrup.
It's crazy.
Because it's quick, it's convenient, it's addictive.
Bro, it's crazy.
And going back to what we were saying, like fruits and drinking water, like that's boring to people. It's like when we say people don't like water. When you hear somebody say they don't like water, why? It has no flavor.
It has no flavor.
I need that juice. Like people are getting used to the sugar and all these different, chemicals, and so that's what I'm saying. The marketing is genius, but you got to the point where people will rather soda. If somebody's dehydrated or parched,
I couldn't even imagine.
they'll pick up
Who said that? I think
soda.
Dee said that. She's like, could you imagine when you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a dry throat, and somebody's drinking Coke?
some soda?
Yo. Dee right before. I couldn't even picture that.
But that's how they, bro. Think about the commercials of them. They're like, like it's like
the Sprite commercials.
Oh, that just makes you more thirsty.
Yeah,
like that used to be me when I was a kid. Like I
said the key word though.
What would I say?
Makes you more thirsty.
Oh, makes you more thirsty.
Keep coming back. But it's not going to get the job done.
It's not going to get the job done. No.
Yeah.
That dead used to be me. Like I don't understand how I used to do that. Like I used to get a Coke after I'm hooping.
Yeah, me too.
And to not even realize, I'm still mad thirsty. Maybe drink more or
and that's why I don't judge because I've been there.
Right, exactly.
But I was
now,
big on soda.
I can't even think about doing that.
I was big on juice. I can't tell you the last time I really drank soda.
Facts or juice. I can't even remember that.
Bro,
juice.
I think once you convert to water,
I've only had fresh juice.
Fresh juice, yeah.
Bro, this is like a part of my wardrobe.
Yeah.
Like when
I'm telling you, I might have to be in the commercial with me. Everybody got their bottle of water.
I leave the crib. It's my keys, wallet, phone, bottle of water. Like legit, it's part of my wardrobe.
I just think it baffles me how we're surrounded by nothing but water. Our bodies are prized water. Our bodies need water to survive, and people will not drink water.
Right.
Like think about the power of the brainwashing to divert away from something that is natural and organic,
essential.
But that's and fruits and veggies, all of that. Like the brainwashing is so powerful. You have people that hate vegetables.
It's because the marketing, bro. I can't think about it. You never see any fruits and vegetables on the market, like
ever.
Even when it's summer, right? You can at least have a watermelon. Everybody getting the watermelons.
That's probably the only fruit that is like marketed as it's like watermelon.
But I never actually see it on commercial. But I'm saying like
it's not on the commercials, but that's
cut up a mango and be like,
like
why can't fruits make you? Why can't fruits make you money too? Like I don't get it.
Because they're not exciting, and that's what I'm learning. Like it's not exciting to people.
Fruits. I know we're saying
overall
in the context of society, but when I say when I pull out a watermelon in front of people, when I start cutting, everybody be like.
Let me get some.
You mind if I get two?
Yeah.
When we got fresh mangoes, we be like,
Right.
So I would say, like, I know society isn't painted that way, but people get excited about fruits. Like, I watch people just sitting there like,
I agree with you.
like, I get excited about fruits,
even
bro. I be sitting there.
naturally.
Right.
Yo, D will do that.
I cut an orange, I'm like,
Yeah.
I bite into the orange, I'm like,
Are you serious?
I'm like, yo, this is what this
All of it.
Busted.
Like, I wanted to be hungry.
Right.
There's times where I came over not even hungry, just ate. D will cut up some apples and something like that. I see them cold, crisp boys.
Yeah,
Hey, you want something? Like,
Oh my gosh.
give me some of that.
Give me that.
And orange is ice cold.
Oh
Yo,
my gosh.
D, I'm not gonna lie.
I look like a savage
That
right
is
When you bite-
different.
When you
The
bite
first
and you
bite.
get that orange
The
juice,
first bite is real. Where it's like, anybody who knows me knows, like, I'll have it in my beard.
Yeah.
dripping down.
Dripping down my beard, boy. I'm like, damn.
Bro, Dad looked like a savage. Like, I'm like,
Happily, bro. I don't care. No napkins, none of that. I'm like, munching it.
I'm a savage with the pineapples too. I remember when I was younger, bro. Coach Jelani had told me about pineapples, bro. Like I was good. Make your cum taste good, bro. After that, I started.
Everybody was on the
dogging
pineapple. Everybody was on the
I'm like,
pineapple wave with that, bro.
I'm like, I come out and eat real good.
Bro, it was popular. Now that you say that, like, you saw somebody eating pineapples, you like, especially when you see a woman eating pineapple, you like, got it, right? You be like,
You a
what's up, man? Well, you got the pineapples, so you about your business.
Right?
Like, literally.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
She knows. Nah, that's what you give her the one division. Like,
The one division.
she ain't a pineapple.
Yo, J.O. put me on because he what did they do? They grilled the pineapple and put a little bit of salt on it. I never had pineapples like that.
I never had that like that.
So I was at J.O.'s crib and they had it and I was like, I bit into it and it was like warm and I was like, oh! Yo,
it turned out.
but if you guys ever grill your pineapple, bro, throw a little bit of salt on it. I was
She
like,
had you tingling.
bro, I was like, yo, this thing is crazy. I never had a pineapple like, cause it took away some of that sourness, that tang out of pineapple have. It was just straight sweet. I was like, and then warm. Some people had a little drizzle of honey. I was like,
Yeah.
what the?
Right.
What the?
But look, that's a way. That's a way you can make it exciting.
Right.
For people, if you want to market it to them, that's a way you can make it exciting.
Yeah.
But they say fruits was designed like that's naturally catches the human eye.
Bro,
They say
it
if we
is.
go back to
We're
they say
like-
if we reverted back to a state of nature. Fruit is what catches your eye.
That's
If you're
true.
walking in the jungle, it's like, oh, you see them strawberries, you see them grapes, you see them apple hang from the tree. Like we're not, like we said, we're not looking at a chicken like
Right, nah.
Nah, we looking at them
Facts.
bright ruby red strawberry. You're like, oh, look at him. Fuck it.
That's why there's some people, because like our ancestors, I think the word, when I talk about like gorillas, apes, other primates as well, I think they're called frugivores. And
frugivores.
a lot of people say we're in that group where we mainly go for fruits. If you really think about it, think about food that's exciting, but think about when you say fruits to people, like kids, when you give them, like fruits naturally make us happy.
Yeah.
So we naturally eat a lot of fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fruits are just.
And there's even it's funny because there's a stigma against fruit.
Yeah,
and
people
sugar content.
Bro, it's
And
not
I'm
the
like,
same.
yeah,
it's
it's
not
not
the
the
same.
same.
I
It's not the
had
same.
somebody compare candy with me to fruits, and I was like, "Are you
Like, yo,
serious?"
I can't keep, I can't. Fruits got a lot of sugar in them. I'm like, bro, do you
like,
understand? Like our diets before were like a lot
Right.
of it was primarily fruits.
Mhm.
It's
You
not wrong
need
with
sugar.
fruit. Bro,
You
the
need
sugar,
sugar.
the sugar isn't bad. It comes with starch too. It comes with the fiber. Like the sugar part isn't bad. It's just that
Yeah.
you just eat straight sugar. There's nothing with it.
Exactly.
And then the way fruits are with all the antioxidants, the nutrients that they have in them,
Yeah.
right? It's different when your body's digesting it compared to when it's just digesting straight sugar. It's just it's totally different.
Yeah.
The way
Totally
it breaks
different.
it down is entirely
Bro, it's totally different. I hate when people be saying that about
Right,
fruits.
me
Too much
too.
sugar. I'm like, shut the.
And it's like
Bro.
it confuses people. You know what I mean? It
Exactly.
turns them away from it. I'm like,
You start
you should
treating-
not be turning away from eating fruit.
But it goes back to what we were just saying
Right.
about the dude. Like, why you shouldn't be clean eating.
Right.
It's the people that throw out those notions that
Yeah.
fruits have too much sugar or clean eating won't get you gains that deters people away from it.
Yeah. I had someone literally say, like, my boy was eating fruit, and someone literally was like, yo, that's not good for you, bro. And I kid you not, I'm like,
B, I know.
I was like, what?
B, I would have looked like,
I was like,
what did you just say?
Right. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, too much of that is too. I'm like, too much of anything is bad. Like, of course.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't really want that.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine
Yeah.
imagine an animal going, nah, I'm good, I want no water.
Yeah. They're gone.
You
Yeah.
know, imagine a lion going, nah, I ain't gonna eat it. I'm not eating meat today.
Right.
Like, we don't know, like,
and his people are like, yo, that's essential. Like, that's what we do.
yeah.
We just like, I don't know where it happened. What was the shift, bro?
Bro, we
Dang,
went wrong.
So while we was gone real quick, B had some pineapple and Reef had some pineapple carrot juice.
Yeah, I had some pineapple.
He was trying to save it to the camera, but
I couldn't.
It
I wanted
worked
to do, like,
out.
a
I mean, it
toast.
was only a small sample size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. I couldn't. I was taking little baby sips, and I'm like, "Nah, this is too good.
Yeah.
I gotta read this."
But tell them the revelation. Tell them the
oh,
revelation.
I hate carrots, right? bro, I think carrots are. Oh, I hate them. But now I'm like, I'm about to go buy a juicer. I'm about to go buy a juicer.
I stack of
I
carrots.
would say tomorrow, but Bergen County crab is closed.
Yeah, that's
true,
Nah, but
true, yeah.
Monday, I'm in there, bro.
Yeah.
I'm buying a juicer, and first thing I'm buying, I never thought I'd buy is some carrots, right? Some
Yeah.
carrots, bro.
Bro, carrots juiced up are fire.
But I will
Really.
say, I'm just all for the record. I felt that little. It was like this much,
Yeah.
and I feel so refreshed right now,
Yo.
for real. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
D used to say that when we woke up
Mhm.
and drink juice, it's like my body just said thank you. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like that's how I felt. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Once you taste it, you just
Mhm. Oh
it
my.
warms your core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
different.
Yeah.
I can't
Different.
wait.
But literally,
Different,
that's
bro.
the key. That's the key is like we get turned out to these things. Like
Mhm.
I think about it, you know, when he was younger, you know, we used to get in trouble when we would go to like family's house because he didn't want to eat any of his veggies.
Mm.
He hated broccoli and you know, I didn't even like a lot of veggies when I was younger.
I
Yeah.
hated broccoli, bro.
Yeah.
I could not do broccoli. They used to try to get me to. I couldn't play video games until I had to.
Eat your
We couldn't leave the
Everybody
dinner table.
upstairs. Come on! Oh, I'm like,
Yeah, he was
I'm
sitting
the
there
one at the table,
"Nah,
like,
I'm not eating
I'm
this.
not eating this, bro.
Yeah.
Now dog broccoli.
Yeah.
Dog.
Let me get that.
Give me that.
Give me seconds.
So around. I don't care. I just dog broccoli.
Yeah. So it's like what I was saying about the carrots. It's like it's about getting turned out.
Yeah.
Literally, like we push away the
Mhm.
fruits, we push away the veggies because they're not popular.
Right.
You know, they're not traditional on an American plate. Veggies aren't really prioritized. You know, we talk about like protein is more than 50% of the plate.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
veggies is the tiny complementary
Right.
piece. You know, so we're not really accustomed to veggies, but once you really start incorporating them into your diet,
Mhm.
Different,
on
bro.
top of learning the health benefits,
Mhm.
it's over. You just had carrots. You had a tiny snippet
Yeah.
of carrot in you. You're like,
I'm like,
Oh.
like I feel good.
yeah,
For real. Like,
I could,
I'm like,
I
ooh,
could,
my
drink,
body
I could
needs that.
drink this.
Yeah.
But you telling yourself you hate carrots, continually turning yourself off to the idea, and that's what most of us do. I don't like veggies.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like water.
Mhm.
We turn ourselves off to the idea, and then
Mhm.
come back to it. You're like, oh,
It's kind of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my things I did like 2 years ago was I would just go into the farmer's market and I would just try new fruits.
Mm.
So I figured out how limited my palate really was.
Mhm.
I'm like, I have not tasted a lot of fruits. Like
Mhm.
D, you know, she's from India. They so many fruits.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You never had eggplant? Like I wasn't sitting there eating eggplants. Never tried guavas.
Mhm.
You know, like jackfruit. I'm
So
like,
much,
I don't
yeah.
even know what these fruits taste
Right.
like.
Right.
So I just kept going into the farmer's market, just
Mhm.
trying out new fruits, and I'm like, oh, I love fruits, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, there's all these different type of fruits, bro.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that, and that goes to say again, like in America, I feel like we have such a limited palate. You know,
Mhm.
we don't know a lot of these fresh fruits and
Yeah.
veggies. At least I didn't. I didn't know there was all these things that existed.
Yeah. I
Right.
still don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, you know what
I didn't eat
mean?
okra until I was older. I didn't
Yeah.
really.
Mhm.
It was never in the crib. Just never tasted it that much. Even though I know okra is a black thing, but
Mhm. No, but yeah.
no, I never had okra
Never had
until we had
eggplant.
till we had the restaurant.
exactly,
It's the first time.
bro. I never had eggplant really like that. But then D made some eggplant parm. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
She put it in the air fryer and I told her, I was like, I
Yeah.
Rice is different.
Yeah.
Cauliflower, didn't eat that till I got older, but now,
Yeah, I didn't eat cauliflower.
now I dog cauliflower.
Yeah. And it's just because these things aren't marketed to you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We're not privy to that information.
Yeah.
So
What's y'all's go-to, like your go-to dinner meal? Like healthy dinner meal, but like slaps.
a go-to.
Mm-hmm. What's something that's like, or is it always just you change it?
It's
up?
rice.
let it
It's
go
some
first.
type of rice and beans.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, give me rice and beans. Let's start there. Rice and beans, and then you can put anything else.
Yeah, bro, that's a staple.
Yeah, that is a staple.
But for me, my favorite rice and beans is rice and pigeon peas, bro. So I don't know, like we'll change it up. The other day, what we just had yesterday. Yesterday, my dinner was pigeon pea curry, sautéed kale. We had naan bread, and we had okra.
That sounds good, man. Wait, what's naan bread?
Naan bread is
naan bread is
it's Indian. It's their style of making bread. So we had the garlic naan.
Okay.
We always get it from Whole Foods, bro. Because the only place I know that has the naan bread, we just be slap, bro. So we what we do is you get the naan bread, you dip it into the curry. And,
Ooh.
Yeah. Boy, I was lost in that. But other than that, bro, my favorite rice and peas.
Yeah.
I'll do avocados in there.
Yeah.
Then on the other side, it might be some broccoli, or I might do plantains. I don't know, bro. Whatever just hits me that day. Yeah. Or I might do like some spaghetti, like pasta joint. Like I might do it with coconut sauce sometimes, or I might do the marinara sauce, switch it up.
That's dope. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize how much variety you can have with healthy food.
Because people they'll be like, one thing I try to show people is that it's not boring. Like people think, a lot of people when I tell them I'm vegan, they'll look and be like, so what do you eat? Like it's not boring. But like I'm like, bro, like it can be fun. Like I don't sit there and make myself eat. Yeah. Like just nothing. Like I still season stuff up. I still. And you can get creative with it. You do it like this, you do it like that. So I feel like you can still make the plates delicious and actually have fun with it. But the notion is that it's boring, that it's I'm eating food I hate. But I was telling like Dee was saying it the other day. She's like, you're really like a happy. You eat vegetables like you enjoy it. You don't force it upon you. Like you genuinely just enjoy what you're eating. I'm like, bro, like I make some great dishes for myself, bro. Yeah. Breakfast out. Freak it out. I'll change it up, bro. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do it like how people used to do the salt do the egg scramble. I just do the bean scramble, and I'll add a little bit of this. Same thing, but
yeah. I remember you put me on to it was like before COVID, like right before COVID, you were like yo, like I'm struggling to get my veggies in. You're like, yo, throw it in a stew, bro. Like, stew it up. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I've been doing that ever since, bro.
Do the stews, bro.
Get the stews, you know what I mean? Like, it's just as healthy and tasty and in like so many different ways. Yeah. Get mad veggies in.
And you don't have to kill, and you don't have to completely kill like meat and fish and things like that. So I think that's what scares a lot of people, or that's another misconception is like, okay, if you start eating veggies, you can't eat meat. It's like, nah, like the goal is to eat more veggies, just incorporate veggies more and be more enlightened in terms of, other options as opposed to just relying on meat. Because, that was a misconception I had. It was like, growing up, meat is all that's marketed. So you think like every meal has to consist of some sort of meat. At least that was my thinking. I was like, okay, obviously breakfast is a little different, but I'm like, lunch, I need meat on the plate. And I'm eating like 4 or 5 times. I'm like
2 years ago,
meat,
chicken,
meat. Yeah, so one meal I got chicken, one meal I got fish, one meal I got. So I always thought I had to have meat on the plate. So the year that I did, the whole plant-based, it just showed me, and I think a lot of things like that just show you like that you have self-restraint. Yeah. So it just showed me like I don't have to rely on meat and stuff like that. Like I said, this week I've had seafood craving. So I ate salmon like 3 or 4 times this week just because I've been craving fish. Yeah. But it shows me I can never, like I don't have to eat fish, but I can enjoy fish. So I think that's the thing is like, that's what I want people to take away is let's stop thinking we need things. Like the plant-based just really showed me I don't need the things I think I need.
Yeah.
Like I can eat a meal without meat on the plate.
Right,
I
right,
need
right.
to have meat on the plate for every meal.
Yeah.
But I'm still go enjoy, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but
Yeah,
I don't need to have it on the plate. So that was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because I think, like I said, growing up, that's what it is. Like, you gotta have meat on the plate. That's all we've ever known.
Right.
Every meal you gotta have chicken, you gotta have beef, pork, something on it. Or else you think you're not getting the necessary nutrients.
Right,
you won't be full.
Yeah.
It won't fill you up. Those kind of things. But this year, that threw away all of that for me. I was like, dang, I really don't need chicken.
Yeah.
I really don't need this. Like, you know, so that was big for me. I was just like, I don't need the things I think I need.
Yeah, exactly. And I was telling them, like, during the break, like for me, like, I'm not at that point yet. Like, I never thought I would ever be, like, vegan or cut out meat. Not because I didn't want to, but just because I didn't think I physically could. Like, I didn't think, like, there's no way I can. Like, you know what I mean? But I told them, like, I find that as I'm getting older, my diet is getting better just naturally because I've noticed, like, even during COVID, like, my diet, I was on point, but I was like, I'm really not even eating red meat anymore. I didn't even mean to. Like, that wasn't a conscious choice. I just wasn't eating it.
It just wasn't.
And I was like, wow, like, that was interesting. And when I look at it, I'm like, I didn't want it. You know what I mean? So just as I'm getting older, I just am, it's slowly coming out of my diet, and I feel like by the time, I don't really know, I can't really put a timetable on it, but I do really feel by the time, like 5 years from now, I probably will be full vegan. And I don't even really, but not like, it's not like a conscious choice. It's more like my body, I'm just listening to my body, like we've said, like I've been listening to my body, and it just, I don't need it. Like you said, like I don't need it, and I'm kind of realizing that. I haven't cut it out yet, like I don't feel like I have to yet. Or I really can yet. It's kind of, I have to, it's a stages for me. But it's just, I'm just noticing that. It's just getting better as well.
But you don't even have to completely cut it out.
Exactly, right.
And that's what I learned is like,
yeah.
you know, and that's why I hate the terminology we use for so many things. I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian. Nah, because then it's very strict, confining.
Right.
Yeah, like you vegan? Yeah. Or you vegetarian? Nah.
Oh, so you don't eat this?
Yeah. I'm healthy, bro. That's all I would say. I eat healthy. You know, but we get into all these things, but you don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to completely cut it out, but you're learning. I don't need it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's how it is, especially in America. Like, we think we need chicken, beef, red meat. Like, that's how we think we survive. Earlier back in the first segment, we think we're carnivores, so we think we always have to be eating it because we think that's our natural diet. When really it isn't. So it's all about doing away with the conditioning. But like I was saying, you know, during the break, like your body will force you. Anyway.
It totally.
Because it knows what it needs, and you know, I was bringing up the example how like. We wait for life or our bodies to teach us what we already know we should be doing. You know, I gave the example with like teas, right? People used to ask me, you drink tea? I'm like, well, only when I'm sick. And you think about that, right? If I'm drinking tea when I'm sick to get better, I should drink tea overall to prevent myself from getting sick. So it's like, even with the red meat and stuff like that, like I feel like deep down we really know we shouldn't be eating it at the rate we do. It's either your body teaches you, like your sense, like I'm not really craving red meat, or we start getting these these illnesses, these sicknesses, and then a doctor will tell you, yo, you should probably cut out the red meat.
Yeah.
That's what happens anyway.
Exactly.
You know, you both know, I know, I've seen examples like when you do get to that point of sickness, your doctor will go, I think you should cut out the pork. You should, you know, lay low on the red meat. So it's like we have to do it at some point. Might as well get better.
Exactly. Especially while we're young.
And you know, just with everybody, but you know, to be, I think it all depends on how far you go with the way you eat, depending on how far in you educate yourself on it.
Yeah.
Like that's why, you know, I was telling Reef, it's easier for me to not eat meat because I know I went so far into the education of it that it's like. I'm like, why would I even do that? Because I went so far. Not everybody goes so far. When I was telling my doctor that, because he was like, "Oh, you vegan now?" I was like, "Yeah." So then he was wondering like how I got there, and I told him, "Oh, I read these books. My uncle's a doctor." And he was like, "Oh, so you actually like because it's rare for somebody to."
There's a true reasoning behind your being.
Exactly. Usually people just do it for the trend, but you won't understand why you're eating it. And I was telling somebody, I was like, bro, I know down to a cellular level what's happening when I eat certain foods. Like I know to that. I was like, so I can't go. Like I know what's happening down to the cells. Like I just can't. So I think with everybody is that how far people will go will depend on how far they educate themselves.
Right. True.
You know, like a lot of people went vegan for trend, but they didn't really understand. You gotta understand why you're doing it. Yeah. You know, like we don't understand why, and knowing just how these things affect my body, how my genes react. Like, I don't even take the chance with it. Like we were saying, like even small amounts, I just don't take the chance. And I'm like, each time we eat, our body is communicating with each other. The foods are communicating with our bodies. So I'm like, just that one time, I know it's not end all be all for one time, but I'm like, why? I'm just like, why just have my body communicate in that type of way?
It's rough. I don't.
You know, I'm like,
it's kind of like, why would I like? You already know something's bad for you. Like, why even give it?
Why am I doing it?
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't need to experience it to know it's bad for me.
Yes, and I'm just learning like how the food we eat interacts with our genes, bro. Like, I'm telling you, if you go that deep with it, it's like, okay, that's why it was easy for me to just cold turkey. Like, once I knew how it affects our genes and stuff, I'm like, oh, it's over.
Yeah. Because that makes more sense.
Over. I learned about telomeres, our lifespans. Like,
I'll be honest, I was like,
lifespan,
like, oh, how did you do that? Like, because I kid you not, like, it was like, when did we hang out? Like February, like a year ago, right before COVID. We went to the meat market. We were getting the fresh meat, whatever, right? The fresh chicken, right?
Yo,
like,
it happened. I know.
And then COVID happened. Whatever. We linked back. Obviously, no one was linking back up.
Yeah.
Then we finally linked up. We hooped in like June or July.
Yeah, I remember.
And you're like, yo, bro, like I've been vegan for 5 months. I'm like,
such a quick.
How did you do that? Like, it makes more sense though. If you were really educated on it, you'd be like, wow.
Yeah,
that totally makes sense.
I'm telling you, bro. Learn to like telomeres. They're on the end of each of our DNA. It's what they call it determines your lifespan. They could off of the length of your telomeres and what you eat affects. And I'm like, what? Like learning. I was that deep with it. I was like, it's over. I was like, done. Done. What foods preserve your telomeres? I was learning. I'm like, there's no, because nothing in my research showed me what the point of eating meat was. Like nothing, there was no benefit truly really in the research. I was like, I'm done.
You know?
But like
case closed.
Literally there's nothing there for me. Like it's good, but like so with everybody, you know, like Reef said, the key is to eat just more fruits and vegetables, but how far you educate yourself, I will determine how far you go with your diet. Like,
but to be realistic, I don't think everybody's going to
everybody
do vegan, and that's why I said do plant. I use the terminology plant-based, right? Have a majority of your diet be centered around plants, veggies. Even like you said, if we look at our cousins, Chams, bonobos, there's a tiny percent of their diet is meat,
right?
But the bulk of their is veggies,
insects,
stuff like that. So that's what I would say to people, because we live in a society that's dominated by meat and stuff like that. So the reality to get people to drop is unrealistic. And people want to splurge and stuff like that. Like you said, that you have a weekend where you want to, you crave a chicken sandwich. I think that's okay. That's what I had to learn. And that's what I had to learn is like, even if you do go cold turkey, that's why I said it's more about the discipline. Can you discipline yourself? Can you do away with the brainwashing and conditioning to go, okay, I don't need this. Now you could dabble in it without over consuming it. And I think that's the point where people should try to get, is where you don't have an unhealthy attachment to meat. Like I said, now I could eat fish, but I know, okay, I don't have to eat fish for like a month if I don't want to. But if I want it, let me dabble in that, where majority of your diet is veggie. So I think that's the point where people should aim to get. without waiting too long. Because like I said, it's either you know, get ahead of it, or life's gonna force you to change your patterns anyway. You know.
True.
And we live in a society that's dominated by heart disease and all these different things. So it's not like the evidence isn't out there for what over-consuming meat in a poor diet does for you. You know, it's just people being willing to do away with everything we learned, and it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's like with milk.
Yeah.
Humans aren't meant to drink milk. Like, you really think about it, our uncle always said, and I'll never forget. He's like, yo, like, we're the only species that drinks another species' milk.
It's deep.
Yeah,
bro,
I said it.
He said it so simple, and I never thought about it. I was like, but we really drink another species' milk. No species on the planet does that.
Wow.
A lion doesn't drink a tiger's milk, like, but we drink a cow's milk, stuff that's meant for a whole other.
What's a cow's the baby cow's name? A calf? Is it a calf? Yeah. He was like, it's meant for a calf to turn into a full-grown.
Yeah.
And you're drinking it. Like, the hormones in it is meant for a calf to properly grow into a cow.
And the evidence is there.
And all of that you're taking in. And it was happening because Reef and them drank so much milk that they were developing at a quicker rate. All the hormones. You see these younger... the doctor was telling them this.
I'll be so honest. This is for the viewers out here. My mom and my dad could vouch for this. But I was 9 or 10 with the bone age of a 13-year-old.
Wow.
Because me and Hassan, I drink milk like a animal.
Wow.
Yo, Pop-Tarts and milk, cookies and milk, cereal. Like, I had to stop drinking milk.
Wow.
And I still didn't get it. I still didn't understand. I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm growing fast. Doctor told me to limit the milk. Like,
pubic hair at like 10.
Bro, I had pubic hair at
like
10.
What?
That's crazy.
Bro, like, I'm bushed up. I'm bushed up at
like 10
years. 10 years old.
That's crazy.
Bone age of a 13-year-old. And it makes sense now. Like, anybody knows me, I've had a beard since I was like 16, 17 years old.
For a while. And even Hassan, even when I was younger, I noticed.
You see Hassan now?
How old is this kid? Like,
you see him now?
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's big, bro.
I'm like, dang.
Like, we were growing at an exponential rate.
We're growing at it.
And then when our uncle said that, and I processed it, I was like, yo, this is really meant to turn a calf into a full-grown cow.
Right.
We're drinking this like I was drinking milk all day.
Wow.
They should have had me on the got milk.
Right.
I always got the stat.
Bro,
Always in the stat.
I was drinking milk all day, bro.
Wow.
And we do this, and another thing, if you see species, they only drink milk up to a certain point in the nurturing process. Milk isn't meant to sustain you.
Right.
So, dog.
Like even breast milk.
Bro,
right.
Stops at
Exactly.
a certain point. We be 50 years old drinking milk.
Yeah.
Like, that's meant for babies.
It's crazy, bro. It is crazy.
So that's another thing that
He said,
I was like, yeah. So it's the little things. Like, he goes into the science, like, which is great. I don't go that far into the science. Like, I like to know bits of the information.
Yeah.
But I think it's like common sense. Like, when we break it down, like I said to you, if you look at a chicken, does that look appealing to you?
Right.
So how?
Yeah, see, so what this thing is saying is that humans naturally frugivores, or we herbivores. And a frugivore is a herbivore or omnivore whose preferred food type is fruit. And other food groups such as seeds, leaves, other vegetables as well. But the biggest chunk of their diet is fruit. And so when you think of some of our relatives, our cousins like chimps are frugivores because 50% of their diets are fruit and other animals like that. So some people, it's all going to come down to opinion, but I believe off of anatomy, we're actually like frugivores off of our anatomy. Like our body's designed mainly for fruits. That's why we have hands, because we can grab fruits from trees. Like our bodies are designed to eat mostly fruits.
Yeah, we can peel.
You can still eat up, but we can peel bananas. You see, like
oranges, all that stuff.
You watch our relatives, chimps, and we can all sit there and peel back fruits. We can grab a mango from a tree. Other animals, they have claws, they can't. We have fingers. That's why we have fingers.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we're literally designed for fruits.
And it wouldn't do anything for them. Even if I fed them for it would do nothing.
What do you mean?
Like if you
Oh
eat a
yeah,
carnivore,
yeah. They don't. It doesn't.
like,
Like,
bro,
they
what
get
the
their
hell,
sources.
bro? What the hell is this?
Right.
Like, but yeah, ask your question because I think it's a good question to.
Yeah. So the
wrap it
question
up
I
on.
was wondering is, in this time where we're accumulating more knowledge right now, as a society, will we all ever get to eating primarily plant-based? Is that in our future? Because there's more information out. You see that we're getting to a point where we're getting to 10 billion in population right now. We're almost at about 8 billion. There's not enough animal sources for us to sustain 10 billion people and counting for years to come. So will we evolve to the point where we start eating mainly plant-based, or how do y'all feel?
I mean, I would hope so. I think just because I think it is possible, but it's going to be super slow for the general population to get it through to the whole general population. But like, I think in the past, because really in the past, I say since social media popped off, or specifically Instagram, maybe like the way it is now, like maybe 5 years ago, where it really popped off, fitness, plant-based, vegan type of things has become trendy.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. There's a lot of misinformation and stuff, but I feel like it's at the very least, it's a step in the right direction, even if it's not.
It's a healthy trend.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like just, we haven't even scratched the surface of it, but I think that's encouraging to me, at least seeing that. So I think it is possible. It'll just be a while, but that's encouraging to me, at least to at least have hope. Because naturally I would have, the instant I was like, no. Like when you asked it first, I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, maybe,
Yeah.
Like it's possible.
Yeah.
I'll never say never.
Yeah.
Because anything is possible. But right now, I don't think so. Just because there's a lot of misinformation around. Like we said, we still have a majority of the population that believes that we're carnivores. So it would literally take all of us getting on the same accord to go plant-based. But it also depends on, are we living in warmer regions where we have access to fresh fruits and fresh produce and things like that in abundance. Like when we said it was, if we take it back to, prehistoric times, or not prehistoric times, but earlier civilizations, it was easier to be plant-based in Africa where, warmer climate, everything's in abundance, versus people that were kind of transitioning into like the ice age and colder climates. They had to hunt and things of that nature. So I think that factors into where a majority of humans living and stuff like that. Are we in warmer climates where we have access to that?
Think about it, we have a global economy now. It doesn't even matter where you live because you can get a country in a tropical climate to ship it to you these days, right? You used to not be able to eat mangoes because they were out of season, but somewhere it is in Mexico that you can get mangoes shipped here. So we're still able to have mangoes year round.
But then I'm saying a lot of things would have to factor in for the bulk of humanity to be plant-based.
Yeah.
But I don't think so, because you'd have to do away with centuries of conditioning and comfortability.
Yeah. But I think it's also a big part. I think if the world governments or like the people in power
really
pushed it, I think it would happen fast. Because think about what happened with COVID. You know what I mean? Like how quickly we were able to instill masks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just how that happened. The whole population, the whole world. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if it was really pushed on like that, I feel like it would happen. You know what I'm saying?
That is a great point, but I mean, a lot of these
it's
industries,
for the better of us. That's that's the crazy
but
thing.
we
We're
don't
sitting
care
here
about
is
that, bro. It's money's involved, so we don't care about what's
right. We're humans.
don't
We
care
say
about
we're
what's
always
better
trying
for
to
us.
elevate, and one of the ways to elevate is honestly what we put in.
Yeah.
Like you literally are what you eat.
Definitely.
And I've learned that even on a level when you learn that everything is energy, right? So I said there's high vibrational energy, there's low vibrational energy. This is another thing, but it was like most of the time you're eating a dead animal. What energy does it have?
Right.
When you're eating a fruit, it's still alive. And
Right.
you're like, just the difference of
you're
eating life versus you eating death.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Bro, I'm like, damn, like
I've heard that before. That's definitely hit me before.
Boy, I was sitting there like, so like just even, just for a species that wants to continuously advance, it's like, food is a major part of our advance, right? Because we get to be in optimal health. If we're in optimal health, think about all the things that we can do because we're not suffering from all these diseases. So I'm just like, I know it's gonna be tough, Reef. I think what B said, like the regulation would help, but it's just like for something that's for the better of us all.
It sounds.
It's just.
It sounds good in theory.
Yeah.
Like most things, it sounds good in theory. We'll advance. Yeah, but nobody's looking at it like that, man. Like, it's unfortunate, but health is underrated. I mean, overrated in society. Nobody's worried about health because money's involved. And a lot of these meatpacking industries have so much influence, and we're talking about regulations and over corporations and politicians. They have so much influence. They're not going down without.
Yeah, I feel like something serious would have to happen to the meat industry, like a COVID, like something like really bad for people to be like, I ain't eating that.
But they have too much.
But we've had
power.
it so many times.
True.
Think about it. The salmonella. We've had all these kind of outbreaks, but we.
That's true.
Yeah,
then I don't know. That's true.
So it's the swine flu. Somebody showed that most diseases end up coming from him.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
You never sit there and worry about a mango giving you something.
That's true.
It's too ingrained in our.
So we even do have those outbreaks that happen, but it just there's a lot of money involved.
To them, it's part of the game, man. Stuff like that happens, but.
Because you're talking about a government that sits there and lets you still sell cigarettes after it tells you, it sits there and says that it can cause cancer or death, and it still lets you.
Right.
So
but think about how much alcohol kills people. Alcohol is literally poison.
Yeah.
People die from alcohol poisoning, drunk drivers. Alcohol kills a lot of people, but it's still so regulation can be regulated and things like that. And you have natural drugs, and me and Dad talked about this on one of the episodes, like briefly. But you have natural things that are actually good for you and medicinal purposes that are illegal. So there's so much behind the scenes stuff that goes into the way people eat as well. But it's all money. As long as we are ruled by money, which we will continue to be.
You don't really see it.
I don't really see it happening. You would have to take away free will, and this is literally like. And this is a question I always. This is a question for another day. But to me, you'd have to take away free will, because like I said, we are the only ones that defy nature because of free will. We don't stick in accordance with nature's bylaws. We can go, I don't want water, right? I don't want fruits. The fact that we can do that,
crazy just saying it, like.
But that's essentially what it is. Like, we can go, nah, I don't want this. Like, think about if herbivores were like, nah, I want to eat meat today, or think of a lions like, nah, I'm not eating meat no more. I'm gonna go eat some veggies.
Right.
Like, it doesn't work like that. Like they have a code.
Yeah.
And that's why I always love watching animals, because they stick in accordance with nature in the universe, the way it was intended. Free will, to us, it's a blessing, but when I look at large scale stuff, I'm like, free will destroys humanity. It's beautiful, the fact that we can decide what we want to do, but it hurts, because look at an example that we've been talking about. People really don't like water. It baffles my mind, but we can go, I'm not drinking that. Nah, I don't want that. Let me create some soda, get some juice, or we can go, nah, I don't want veggies. Veggies are trash. I'm eating this. Like, we can decide that we want to do that.
Your body like, whoa, I need that.
We can not listen to this. We can decide not to listen. Now the body's its own organism. It knows what it wants. It knows what it needs to be optimal. But we can go, nah, I don't want this. Shut up. I'm calling the shots, but we eating this.
Right.
So I think that's a big thing too. As long as we have free will, I don't see it happening, because we're so far gone in society. It's passed down. Like how long it took me 21 years to break out of the I need meat.
Right.
So that stuff is hard. Yeah, so I would hope that we can transition. I mean, just for other people's sake, just for humanity's sake, I think it would be cool, just from an education standpoint, for us to get back in accordance with nature.
Yeah, it's sad because the simple things are just like the hardest. Like, think about how the benefits to your kids, like when they're growing up. Like, I just don't. I get it, man, but it's just like.
But it's not always that all people know that. That's the thing too. Like, we're all brainwashed, so it's not like we're looking at it like we know some of us do know the information and choose to ignore it. That's a different story. But the majority of us think what we're doing is the right thing.
Right.
You were there. I was there. I'm thinking eating white meat, grilled chicken breast. I think eating all of that is the right thing to do. Like, so it's it's not like they're like, oh no, they think they're benefiting. You know?
Exactly, like you said, like, oh, it's health. It's just the majority of people who see organic and they'll be like, oh, it's healthier for me. They don't know the reason why it is, and that's just generally for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it would take little things. I mean, it would take a different sort of influence, but you would have to compete with those meat packing industries.
Yes.
And they
they
got a tight grip on it right now, man.
You just gotta just spread knowledge is power, and as long as there's somebody spreading, even for us, we didn't go too far into it, but even just talking about it, like it's just giving out the knowledge.
I mean, that's where it starts for sure.
And that's all we can do at this point is just spread the knowledge, and hope that'll eventually turn into power. But it's giving out more of the information, not more of go organic. No, why? The why parts, so people can sit there and be like, oh, okay, like I get it. I knew it was good for me, but now I know in depth about it. So you need more of those people. But
another big thing is
it's hard though, because even your doctor, a lot of your doctors don't even eat good.
But,
right? Because Reef used to have a big doctor.
Oh yo, this dude, man.
Bro, he had an overweight doctor.
I was young, and I never understood. He would tell me I was overweight, but he couldn't even stand up out of his chair. Like, all of my appointments, no lie, all of my appointments he was sitting down, and he ended up getting the gastric bypass. But young, before I could really understand. Same thing with the milk situation. Like, before I could really understand, I'm like, dude, you're calling me fat, and you can't even get up. Like, what? But that's the thing. Like, but this is the same thing. You have dentists that don't even
have good teeth.
These are the health. These are supposed to be the people that look to professionals.
But when
they got the keys.
But when they're misguided, bro, it's just passed out.
How are you an overweight doctor? I'm sorry. I
agree.
You're in the health profession. You're supposed to be the example of health. I'm going to you for health, and you're overweight. It's like
that's so true.
Yeah. To just
you're the example here.
And you took me to take what you're saying seriously, and it makes sense.
And so, that's America for you. Like, it's just like, what? How are you? You're unhealthy, and you're a doctor. And you're telling me about my health,
right?
What?
Right.
You got to get people to question.
I was stunned looking back. I'm like, yo, we've had an overweight doctor. Like, sometimes the people that are the examples aren't even the examples. So it's gonna take a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna take
all that to say it's gonna take a lot. We got overweight, obese doctors. Man. I don't know what else to say. There gotta be something here.
Right. Crazy.
You're supposed to be the exact definition of health.
Right.
We should be able to look at our doctors and be like, dang, I need to get like that. At least that's just me, but you're the health professional. You're the master. You've gone to school for this for years on end. I should look at you and be like, dang, I need to get like my doctor.
Yeah. But they are the professionals in our standards of health. So that's the thing, is in our standards of health, they are the professionals.
Well, that's just because take 2 nutrition classes.
Yeah, but that's the way we look at health in society. Wow. We don't value health the way it should be. So, what do you really expect? But to me, it's all about getting people to question anything they've ever known, and that's a hard thing to do. You've been programmed from day one. Think about it. You come into the world naked. You don't know anything.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you get programmed from day one, again, societal conditioning, reinforcement, all of that stuff, to get somebody to flip is tough, right?
Yeah.
If somebody tried to get you to stop being a Christian, how hard would that be?
Very, very.
That would be very hard.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Very
Like,
true.
Because from day one, you have been
Yeah.
Christian. So it would be like
Right.
example like that. Like it would be hard to get B to convert to something else or to convert out of it.
Right.
And that's the same thing with like health.
That's
You
true.
get somebody to stop eating chicken, they're like, bro, I've been eating chicken since I was a kid. What you mean?
It's a great point.
Yeah.
Good that you do that there, because that gives an example. The batteries, probably good.
Yeah. So we'll end it here.
Yeah.
It was
We hope
Yeah.
we hope it goes there, even though we understand there's a lot of trials and tribulations to make that happen. So.
Yeah. It's a long road, but I mean, it's always good to have the conversation. That's where it starts. It was pivotal for myself. It was pivotal for you. Even B sitting in, like during a break, he's like, yo, I didn't know. I didn't know these certain things, but the battery's about to die. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. It was fun.
Always.
You already know.
Always love.
Yeah, already
Always.
know.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Deuces. Caught it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.